Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing today? I'm going to have a good day, but I got to tell you, yesterday did not go as planned. But anyway, happy morning, happy coffee, happy tea. Forgive my slurping. This is actually my second cup. And it sat on the pot long enough. I went outside and I watered my plants and fed the birds. I'm burning my lip. So anyway, that's why I'm slurping. I know how rude that is. I apologize, but I wanted some coffee. So I went outside and, like I said, I watered my plants and fed my birds. I hope I didn't say watered my birds and fed my plants. Probably need to feed my plants. And so that I could get back in, trying to avoid my crazy neighbor, I tell you. And I know none of y'all have ever had that problem, but it's such a beautiful morning. I didn't want to come back in, but I'm also very excited to get back to my writing. So yesterday I told you that it was going to be a busy day. We were going to do, I was going to go dig a hole. Neighbor was giving Jana, it was going to be a giant mulberry tree. Of course, it's a sapling. And so I went and, let me show y'all, I went and dug that hole. And she took that photo and a little clip that I might use in a video soon, but that's where it was gonna go. And we soaked the hole, getting ready for the neighbor to bring the mulberry sapling, but he went and tried to dig it up and see his, I don't know if you can tell, his concrete blocks here. It is there was a patio there, and he's in the process of doing something different with it. But the roots go all the way underneath his concrete patio, and he said he thinks it even goes over into the other yard, and it's entangled with another tree. And he's former military, so he texted us and he said, oh, mission aborted, mission aborted. I thought that was pretty funny. So that didn't happen. So I came back and I started writing on my book, and I'm still excited. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But trying to finish up this next book. And I forgot about laundry. And so the standing rule is here, if you're not there 15 minutes after the hour of that you've signed up, anybody can take the laundromat. But I feel bad. It's like we we signed up for 2 hours, an hour for me and an hour for Jana, and then we didn't go. And I forgot to go take our names off the list, but I got a lot of writing done. Sorry about the slurping, but oh, this is so nice and warm. And I know that it's summer. It's August, and it is going to get 104, I think, here today. So it's ridiculous that I'm cold, but I am cold right now. I is outside and it was nice and chilly, and now I'm inside in the AC, and I'll try not to slurp. Can't do it. If I'm going to drink that hot coffee, I have to slurp. Sorry. Now, oops, let me turn my text message off. Squirrel. Oh my God, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, I wanted to tell you. Yesterday, in the writing, I bet you I spent, and I don't think this is an exaggeration, but I bet throughout the day I spent easily 4 to 5 hours doing research, because I want to make sure that any information I put in my book, anything I include in scenes, is accurate, either historically accurate with dates or geographically accurate with locations. And I'm writing about a character that has a mental issue. And so I wanted to be sure that I get any of that correct, that is referenced in the book. And so I do a lot of research when I write. The bigger authors, what I would call the real authors. I mean, I'm a real author, and I'll tell you more about that in just a minute, but I don't want to run too long today. but big authors with big publishing houses, and I'm grateful for my publisher who's given me an extension on the deadline we had agreed on. I'm very grateful for that, so that I can still try to get a book out this year. But they have people that do their research for them, actually. Now, Nora Roberts, she in a book and then in an interview, I've heard her say that the publishing house would get really upset with her because she wanted to do her own research. And as I was doing all of that research yesterday for my book, I thought, I get that, because I cannot turn, even if I were a big name author with a big name publishing house, I would want, that was a mosquito bite, that looks ugly. Squirrel. Anyway, I would want to do my own research because it augments the story. It helps me understand what I'm putting on paper, so to speak. And it helps me stay in the character, stay in the moment, stay in the scene, and feel it and present it. And I can't imagine just somebody else doing the research and handing it to you and you using that. Now, having said that, I have learned that there was something. I'm going to use a benign example because I don't want to give away anything in my book. That fly is driving me crazy. Anyway, I don't want to give away anything in my book, so I'm going to use a very benign example. But a plant that I wanted to include, because one of the characters is on horseback and going through a thicket, and because of the scene setting and time of year that it is taking place, I needed to Google and or research and see if that plant is actually growing at that elevation in that state at that time of year. And I tell you, I just the computers are amazing these days, and with AI, artificial intelligence, I do not use AI to write my anything I write. I create everything from blank inside this. That's kind of scary, isn't it? Inside this head. I do not use AI to write, but I do use AI to research, and I'm able to plug that information in XYZ state at this time of year, in at XYZ elevation. Is this plant growing? And it came back no. I was like, oh crap. So then I was able to say, try again. What thorny plant would be growing at that time of year, at that elevation, at that location? And it gave me a whole list, and I was able to go through and look at the pictures and find something that matched what the scene I was trying to create in my head and include it. And so the research is I can't imagine turning that over to someone and them doing that, and then also including it in my book, because I plus I learned so much. And then also because I had a real hard time, not hard time, I don't want to say that. Yesterday was very challenging, and has been for a long time. I've even talked about it in the WOW workshops that I'd held, and that I hope to get back to. But I had talked about how difficult it was for me to write a particular scene, and I think that's part of why I wasn't able to write for a while, because it's pretty brutal, and it was too close to home for me, for my brain injury, and how I got my brain injury, and it being violent, and I had to write this scene. I don't remember where I was going with that, because that impacted me. Let me take a drink and see if I can remember. Not having to slurp as badly, it's getting a little cooler. Good stuff. I don't remember where I was going with that. The scene and researching. Oh, I was saying I learned a lot. That's what I was saying. I learned a lot about like medical terminology and for this particular character that did not relate to my diagnosis. So that was fun. So I enjoy my research is all I'm trying to say because I get to learn a lot. So and so then last night it took a break, and Jana, since she got injured on July 6th, she has to leave her leg propped up and everything so many hours during the day, and it wears her out. In addition to that, any injury where it exposes your bone is going to take a while. And so we hadn't played any games or anything since July 6th. So last night we played games, and we looked down, and the dogs were both laying on Sammy's bed. Look at that. That's Bandit curled up on one end of Sammy's bed, and the blankets weren't in there, and they acted like they were cold because they were underneath the air conditioner. So Jana threw a jacket on Sammy and one of her t-shirts on Bandit, and they just curled up and went to sleep. But when I got the camera out, of course, Sammy had to look up and say, "What are you doing?" But isn't that adorable? That was the scene that we were looking at while we played cards last night. I just loved it. And so the ongoing saga with my neighbor on, I made because because I'm an author and I create things. I made the character in my book that is violent and has mental health issues. I made that character. Oh, see, now I already forgot. What's it called when you're afraid of birds or you have a phobia of birds? Ornithologist phobia. It's in my book. I did the research yesterday. I just can't remember today. But I gave him that diagnosis too. Did not give him the same name as my neighbor. But I was like, hey, that was my little way of going. Just create a character after you. I'm so sorry. Slurping. Anyway, so I wanted to share something. So it made me think about my sweet cousins, Mike and Cindy. They have a bird feeder called, Bird Buddy. I think it's called Bird Buddy. And they put me on to where I can view their Bird Buddy so that I can see the birds in their backyard, because I love birds so much. And leave it to me to move down the street from somebody that hates birds. What are the odds? What are the odds? Anyway, I want to show you this cardinal couple that's at my cousin's house that visits their bird buddy routinely. Aren't they? Oh, let me get rid of that for you for a moment. Aren't they adorable? They just sit there and eat, and they'll look at the end of the camera, and they look at the seed. And anyway, I've decided that I want a bird buddy. Plus, look, doesn't it seem like it serves as a like a dash cam kind of thing too? So I was like, ooh, that'd give me a way to, because I don't have any windows or anything in here, so that would give me a way. And I moved my bird feeder because of this stupid guy. I moved it over on the other side of my lot. Well, in the middle of my lot, away from the side of the lot that faces him. I moved it into the trees where he can't see it, in the middle of my lot. But I thought, oh, if I get a bird buddy one day, I don't even know what they cost. It's not in my budget right now. But if I got a bird buddy one day, it also would serve as a camera out there. I was like, oh, that'd be such fun. I would love to do that. So I've decided that I'm going to do that in the next year or two. Is get me a bird buddy. And I haven't ever seen any beautiful cardinals here, but we had an Oriole couple for a while, and there's pretty finches and also and I don't know, I don't think I would be able to see my hummingbird feeder from where the bird feeder is now, but seed bird feeder. But anyway, that lifted my spirits to think about that, and I want to thank Mike and Cindy for putting me on their bird buddy so I can watch their beautiful birds in the coastal region of Texas. So that's it for today. This morning, everybody, I want to get a regular video out at some point, but that's difficult to do when I'm writing 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. I have to go to work tomorrow, so I won't be able to write tomorrow, and I don't know how that's going to feel, but we'll figure it out as we go. And little Bandit, I fed him after I came in from taking care of the birds and the plants outside, and so he's curled up over on the bed, and you guys didn't get to see him this morning. But I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video, everybody. Bye-bye.